Welcome back to Channel Report. Thanks for staying with us this evening. Now, back in 1965, a young Richard Johnston Scott started writing to Gerald Durrell, begging him to let him work at the zoo. Now, after half a century at the Trust, he's hung up his wellies.
Yes, with such an interesting job, we couldn't let the opportunity go by without catching up with him and finding out about his life and times at Durrell and, of course, the animal friends he made along the way.
Well, I was a trainee keeper and I worked in the mammal department and looked after all sorts of animals, including lions and leopards and bears. But then I managed to get a transfer to what we used to call in those days the mammal house, which was mostly small primates, but also included the great apes, orangutans, chimpanzees and gorillas, and I was hooked straight away. I was just intrigued by them. I mean, they're very, how can I say, we know they're intelligent but also extremely sensitive, and you have to win their confidence, and that was always a big challenge which I enjoyed. You know, especially with the gorillas Napongo and Nandi. Napongo was the first gorilla ever to bite me and the last many years later. When you did have those magic moments of her sitting next to you and going through your pockets and that sort of thing, it's just an experience which is impossible to convey unless, you know, someone, you know, yourself, you've experienced the same sort of thing. Well, Yambo was, I think he was about 17 years old when I came back to Jersey, and he was one of the reasons I came back to Jersey. Over the years we formed a pretty close bond. It was incredible. It was an image, I think, which it was such a powerful image that I think it will endure for all time, and of course it did so much to help dispel the myth, or absurd myth, of King Kong and, you know, gorillas being brutes and ferocious beasts, which of course they're not. I mean, the highs and lows in zookeeping, of course births are great. You know, we've had, you know, Yambo side, 14 live offspring from 19 pregnancies during his time here. And I was looking up the other day, actually, his legacy includes 64 grandchildren, 26 great-grandchildren and 1 great-great-grandchild. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive, and the line continues. But, yeah, whilst births are the highlight, if you like, of your working year, deaths are difficult to deal with. But, you know, you get close to your animals, so it's like losing a friend or part of your family, extended family or whatever. I think that's what makes it difficult, really, knowing that the gorillas are just literally 3 or 4 miles down the road. I'm still coming to terms with not having, you know, that opportunity or that privilege to have contact with such magnificent animals.
That's great seeing all those images of the gorillas.
I know.
Now,